what did you tell yourself heading into those three final rounds?
Well, not only myself, my corner, they told me, I need to, they felt that I needed, to pick it up, just to um, ensure the victory. I felt like I had, I felt like I had edged out, the first, 5 6 rounds, um, but yeah, I did feel the need, to pick it up, and so yeah, that was the reason why the last 3 rounds for sure. We I started picking it up.
Right here, Mario. Congratulations. There were a lot of people in the media section that thought that he won the fight and did so pretty handily, actually. I wonder when you hear that, when you were going into the late rounds, like Lance said, you had to win the last 3 rounds. Did you feel like you were ahead, or did you feel like you had to catch up? And when I tell you that lots of people with no particular dog in the fight thought that he was the winner, do you understand why they might think that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I feel like I won the fight, and I feel like the last 3 rounds really solidified that. Um, but you never know what some people see or are looking for in the fights. But I feel I won. Me and my team feel that we won, and we're very proud of what I showed, and I'm still just thankful to be holding my title, and yeah, like I said, we're gonna keep things moving forward.
And if they did come to you and ask you if you would have a rematch with him, what would you say?
Oh yeah, by no no hesitation. I feel like I don't have anything left to prove. I feel like um, if he wanted to run it back, that would be completely his choice. But yeah, I mean, I'm with it if that's what he wants.
Brandon Walker with 210 Boxing TV. Over here, Mario. Mario, do you feel like there should definitely be a? Do you feel like there will be a rematch between you and Pacquiao, or what do you feel like you in your future will hold?
I didn't hear that last part.
What do you think about your future? Do you feel Pacquiao rematch, or where do you see yourself going next?
Well, like I said, I mean, if a rematch is something he wants, then I mean, I'm with it. I still think this was big for boxing, and yeah, I mean, I'm still proud. I'm still holding the title. If not, maybe we're still gonna move on. To the next best thing.
Questions for Mario Barrios.
Mario, ¿esperabas, de este lado para mi Sports Boxing, esperabas el ritmo que traía al final de la pelea de Manny Pacquiao? ¿Esperabas que siguiera tirando tantos golpes y tan activo como lo vimos?
Mario, were you expecting Pacquiao to be? Yeah. So the question is, Mario, were you expecting Pacquiao to be as sharp, as quick, and as decisive as we saw him be?
Yeah, I prepared for the best Pacquiao, and but he's still tricky in there. He still has so much experience, and he showed that tonight, and it was a really good learning experience for me, and I'm so proud of everything I was able to do.
Gail Falkenthal and My Fights. This is a question for Bob. What were you telling Mario as you got to those last three championship rounds? You must have been urging him forward. And Mario, the second part is, what messages were you hearing from Bob that gave you those last three rounds?
Well, first off, I know we're going against an icon, right? And so the crowd's with him. I knew he was trying to steal rounds in the last, 10, 15, 20 seconds. And a lot of times when the crowd gets going, people get influenced, and you just don't know what the judges, are looking at. What are they preferring? I thought we were ahead in the fight. I thought we were controlling the fight with the jab. But I just wanted him to make sure that we closed the show in those last 3 rounds, just to make sure that we left no doubt in anybody's mind. And unfortunately, the judges seen it the way they seen it. We came up with a draw. One judge had Mario winning the fight, obviously. And the other two judges seen it a draw. So, we got to live with that. That's the way they seen it. But again, I think the crowd influenced the judges just maybe a little bit. That's my opinion. And he was trying to steal rounds. He's a veteran. He's an icon. He's been there 60 fights. But I thought Mario did a great job in winning 10, 11, and 12, and I thought that ensured the win. But it is what it is, and hopefully we'll be able to do a rematch because I think everybody would love to see Pacquiao again, and who the hell wouldn't want to see two-time Al Azteca? It was a great performance, and we'll move forward from here.
All right, we got one more question for Mario Barrios, and then we'll bring up Manny Pacquiao. Last question for Mario.
Mohammed Mubarak with EURweb.com. Could you tell us the moments throughout the fight that you thought maybe were challenging for you, or more that you could have done to improve your performance?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, whenever I have a fight, there's always things that I could have done better. There were certain adjustments that were difficult to make with him, and his style. And I think that just goes with the experience that he has. The styles and the fights that he has been in. Yeah, he's a veteran. He's a legend, and yeah, he was very tricky, to try to find. Even though I was finding the like jab here and there, it was hard to follow up on punches, and yeah, it definitely, he used his experience, and it was hard, to find my rhythm, early on, and especially in those middle rounds.
All right, Mario, before we let you go, any final words as you retain your championship via majority draw against the 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pacquiao? Mario?
Just shout out to everybody, that supported this event. It was still, a really huge night for boxing. I said it was an honor, to be in there with a legend like Pacquiao. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna take this fight. I'm gonna keep on growing, and yeah, Team Barrios will be back very soon.
We look forward to seeing you in the near future. Give it up for still the WBC welterweight champion of the world, Mario El Azteca Barrios, and his esteemed trainer, Bob Santos. Happy belated birthday once again, Bob.